Hello, this is Nudl, and what you're looking at right now is the map for Warcraft Royale. In this video, I'm going to go over creeping routes and a couple of units that you can buy at the start that will basically ensure that you have a decent game. So right off the start, the center is usually filled with many green camps and low-level creeps. So for example, if you run from the start and spawn here, you can get a very safe start without risking anything because there's only green camps. And then you can progress down here to the Molo camps and basically clear all of this. As you can see, there's lots of green camps around this area. Not so much red camps. That's basically because the area is designed for beginners, the center. So there are a few incentives for high-level players to get the red camps here. But yeah, for most part, if you're an experienced player, you want to extend outside the center of the ring, basically. So let's see what's in the center. In the center, you have the Ancient of War. You can get archers for very cheap. They give very good DPS. You have the barracks, which I recently moved. The footmans are really great for like the bandit camps because they reflect ranged attacks, so they're very cost efficient against ranged camps. I mean in terms of healing. That's another one right here. And the ghouls. The ghouls are very nice because they can regenerate through cannibalize. And they also have a little bit extra more HP here than in ladder, so they aren't super squishy. And because they have cannibalize, you can clear the camp with spells. For example, you clear them very fast. And then you just use cannibalize to mitigate any of the damage that the ghouls have taken, and then you just keep on going. So maybe you get 3 or 4 ghouls. If they die, there's no big problem. You didn't spend that much money anyway. And then we can proceed to, well, when you're creeping around minute 2, the casters become available. So you kind of want to get to this Arcane Sanctum. And the reason why casters are great is because they mitigate a lot of the damage dealt from the creep camps. So you always want to stay regenerated and on full health in case you meet a player. And the spellcasters are also great because the spell damage deals extra damage to heavy armor, and that's basically almost every camp in the game. So if you have a spellcaster, they're going to help you deal a lot more DPS to camps and basically clear them faster, and by clearing them faster you can get XP. And I think that basically covers everything from the center. Yeah, there's also a crypt right here, which helps with progressing towards the top. Other than that, not much. Oh yeah, there's casters here as well. You can find firebolt casters here. They're more designed around PvP, but they can still be useful for clear speed. And yeah, I think that's basically all the center. So then we can start with the top right corner. This is the area that I usually like to creep around. It's just my personal taste. So what you can do is you can pick up the teleporter starting item, and you can teleport right here. This is what I do. This helps me get to this area faster because the starting wisps can only run this far. So you have a slight advantage in getting there first by using the teleport scroll. And the next thing I do is I buy units from here. And depending on what hero I have, if I have a summoner, I go to this one and I take out this creep. It's a level 4 creep, which means I get a tier 2 drop if it drops anything. And if my hero is a little weak on the start, like a Tauren Chieftain, I do this one, Uh, and after that, depending on how strong my hero is, I basically take the right side if I have a summoner or someone with great damage mitigation, and the left side if my damage mitigation is not that great. And after these camps, I usually do this one, or I traverse up here to avoid fights. What I like to pick up here is the casters. There used to be a witch doctor here, but now there's the Naga Sirens. And the Naga Sirens are really great for damage mitigation as well, because they have Parasite. So once you clear camps with lots of low level creeps, especially this one, if you put Parasite on all of these, you get a bunch of Murlocs. And the Murlocs will basically soak up all the damage. They work as sort of summoners in a way. And after you've gotten the casters, you can start doing the slightly orange ones. This one I think is fine. You just pull the creeps out to the river and keep attacking them. These are also fine, not very difficult. Sorry about my voice crack. I'm not used to talking this much in a video. And then you can progress to this area, maybe pick up the frostworms, and do the orange or red camps. You just pull them out here. And for example, if you have the, you can get the, what's it called, Naga Myrmidons, and you just ensnare them here. And yeah, pick up of corruption, maybe whatever you need. I think that's pretty much the ice area. Not much to say. Marketplace here, it's very well positioned for when you run between camps, and if you have excess of one resource type, you just trade it here. So yeah, that's the top right side. Next, I'm gonna cover the top left. Again, you can TP here. If you don't TP, you just run straight up here. Clear 2 or 3 camps. Then you pick up casters. Because it's minutes. What I like to count is after I've done 2 or 3 camps, it's usually minute 2 into the game. And then you can immediately run for the casters. It's sort of rule of thumb. So yeah, here you can get the units that you need. These camps, you just do the green ones. I think this one is pretty easy. It does have cleave damage, so if you have a lot of weak but low HP units, they're gonna fuck you up. But all of these are really easy actually. Obviously this one you want to save for later. It has mana burn. This one can be a little bit rough because they have Hall of Terror, which reduces your damage. These can go for your casters and kill them if you're not careful. Oh yeah, and I think what a lot of people don't get is the talents, because they think they're hard to micro, but that's not really what you want them for. It's for getting extra clear speed because they reduce armor. So what you do is, after you've cleared say 6 or 9 camps, something like that, you pick up talents, you put Fairy Fire on, say this creep, and the creep can't die so much faster, so you don't take that much damage. And you can use it on this one and this one to get the worms. Or you can just skip the worms, get a bunch of hippogriffs from this one. Or you can transition down here, get the torrents. There's actually a lot of things you can do on this map. So yeah, that's the top left side. Yeah, yeah, I think that pretty much covers it. Then we can take the top, bottom right side. Again, you can TP here, get ghouls, 2 easy camps here, then you just do the orange one. It's not very difficult, but it's gonna take a bit longer time. Lots of green camps here, otherwise this one is a bit rough, but it's possible. This creep doesn't have mana burn, I think. Yeah, this one doesn't have mana burn, so it's actually not that bad. But you want to watch out for curse. It's gonna make this camp go a lot slower. But it's possible with lots of units. And just make sure it doesn't die to Black Arrow, basically. And again, talents here. And later hippogriffs if you're still in the same area. What you can pick up here is Orb of Venom. I usually don't get that item unless I have something like Farsi or a hero that is really good for killing player units. Otherwise, you don't really need to go here. All of these camps are easy, besides this one. This has mana burn. So if you've spent all your mana, you can do this one. But I would advise not going here if you have full mana, because it's gonna cost you. If you think about it, like a mana pot costs 125 gold. So if they mana burn you, you lose 125 gold. So yeah, not that great camp. This one, I want to cover this one because this one is a little bit special. The Setter Hell color here has an ability called Natural Form, and basically what it does is it transforms your creep into a tree permanently, unless you cut the tree. And so, by design, there is a Goblin Laboratory camp here. So what you can do is you can buy a Shredder and you can cut the tree, and you can get your units back. So it's very conveniently placed right beside here. Other than that, very easy area. You can get Mountain Giants as a tier 3. I mean for late game. Same with Hippogriffs. Archers, cheap DPS. That is, for example, if you run from the center and down here, I would advise. I would recommend going here, picking up 3 archers, and it will help with DPS. What you can also do is, if you run from start here down to the Vendigos, and if you use the Ancient Protect the starter item, you can clear this camp. Very easy. Just make sure you uproot the Ancient, make sure it eats trees. It's very central though, so it's kind of greedy tactic, and it can often fail because people this is sort of a choke point in a way with very open areas. Open visibility, so people can't see you do it. But you also have lots of escape routes, so it's not a huge problem. But yeah, level 6 creeps, that means you get a high chance of a tier 2 drop. And if you get that on the first camp, you can, for example, get a class of attack, so that will help clear creep camps even faster afterwards. The reason I actually would recommend going for the orange camps first a lot of the time if you learn how to do it, because getting a tier 2 drop first will help so much, but also everyone has low HP and low kill power. So if you do an orange camps, of course you risk getting creepjack, but at the same time nobody can really kill you at level 1. And if you kill the orange camp, you get much more XP than somebody that has cleared, say, 2 green camps or 3 green camps. He's gonna be level 2 by the time he clears 3 camps. And you're gonna be level 2 by the time you clear these 2. So it's a bit more greedy, but if you know that you're in a solo area, you just go for the orange camps, basically. And what you can do is just pull them out here. You take lots of less damage because the creeps will keep walking back, but you're attacking one creep at a time. So overall, various camp. Yeah, I think that covers the about spot. Yeah, and of course you can transition into the red camps here. This one is fairly easy, you just pull them back. These ones are a bit scary because there's 2 choke points there. So if you pull them back here and somebody comes from this side, you're gonna walk into more creep damage here before you can really escape. Or you can get sandwiched between 2 players, which is not ideal. So yeah, these creeps also have AoE damage, the lightning attack and chain lightning. So it's not recommended at first, but the drops can be nice. And you also have the same camp here. Yeah. So then we can take the bot left. This side recently got revamped. I know I changed the camps there, but I haven't really designed the route myself. What is to note is that teleporting here is not as efficient as the other routes. That's just how it is. But what you can do is you can teleport here. This is from version 6.5. So this spawning grounds has been moved from here to here. So it's much less distance now. So the 2 camps you can do from if you teleport to the stone here is these 2. These are level 5, so they don't have any abilities. All they do is really lots of high normal damage, which shouldn't be a problem if you just get a creep here. These 2, they do actually lots of damage. They have command arrow. I would be kind of careful. They hit like a truck, but they can be cheesed. There are 2 choke points here, so if you have any like displacement or shit like that, you can use that. Otherwise, lots of green camps. This one, the creeps heal themselves. Not much to say, lots of magic damage here. And then you have the red camp. 2 choke points here, so you want to be a little bit careful. Still, you can, after you get out of the choke points, you have lots of space. Just, you probably want to ward up first. And there's also the Ancient of War here. Archers, really good for clear speed early. I recommend getting them. Yeah. Oh yeah, and the shades. Personally, I always pick up 1 shade. I just send it into the area here. I just put lots of shift rally points, and then I make it run in a spiral until I see a player. Then I see what the player has. Then I just make him follow him a little bit. Yeah, basically just to get information. Same here, you can get the, what are they called? Let's see. I actually forgot the name. I think they're called seers. Let's see. Okay, it's custom unit. Okay, sorry. Okay, Shrati Seers. Yeah, they have Farsight. So what you do with the Farsight ability is you buy the, yeah, of course, first you buy the unit, and then you Farsight on the red camps around, let's say, the middle of the map. You Farsight this one, Farsight this one. What you gain from it is you understand what power levels you're dealing with, like the sense of scale that the other players have in terms of armies. And also they will, during mid to end game, they will be doing the red camps because they have big armies. So you're almost guaranteed to get some sort of information by just using Farsight on them. or you can use Farsight on the Arcane Sanctums, because priests are in fact some of the most popular units. So, but yeah, another thing you can do here, deny Sirens, you use Parasite, clear the creeps. If you have a big slow hero, you go to the Spirit Lodge, you pick up Shamans and use Bloodlust. And what that will help you with is basically faster clear speed. It will help you mitigate some of the slow movement. This goes for heroes like Tarn Chieftain, Ancient of Winter. Can't think of other slow heroes right now, but yeah, big slow heroes always get Shamans. And if you have a big slow hero, you want to get Shamans and the Necromancers for Unholy Frenzy. And if you get that, your big slow unit is suddenly not big and slow, he's actually big and threatening. So yeah. I haven't covered the sides, I mean the top, straight right, straight, yeah. So it's not much to say. These are sort of transitionary positions between the corners. You can get the tier 3 units on all of these sides. So here you can get Griffins, Worms, and on this side you can get the Chimeras. Here you can get the Toro Wrens, yeah. And there's also, well, there's 5 like race or faction shops. So right here, keep track of the minimap here. Here you can get the Orb of Lightning. It's gonna be useful if you're a melee hero fighting a flying hero. Here you can get the Orb of Corruption. Let's see, where's the shop? Yeah, here's the human shop. Here's the Night Elf shop. And here is the Naga / Serati shop. Yeah. And also, something I haven't covered, Goblin Zeppelins are also really good for clear speed. Might seem a bit like slow and clunky to keep loading and unloading the camps, but during mid game, one of the problems is that if you, let's say you creep outside the circle, let's say there's a circle right here, you clear this zone, and you have to walk in here, and all of a sudden, once you get into this area, you don't have any information on what is cleared and what is not, because it's hidden by shade or something like that, right? So you need to find areas that haven't been crept cleared to get XP. So what you can do is you buy the Zeppelin then, and the Zeppelin gives you 2 advantages. Lets you move over trees and shit, and you can also spot what has been cleared and what is not. So let's say you buy the Zeppelin here, you're starting to move into the circle, you see these 2 areas are crept and cleared, and by assuming that, you can kind of assume that this area has been crept cleared as well. So either you go top or you go slightly up here, and suddenly you find creeps haven't been cleared here, maybe just the green ones, but that is still something, right? And from there you basically like, you can spot what has been crept cleared and what is not. And that gives you a sort of advantage in finding creeps and getting XP over other players. So yeah, Zeppelins, it's like almost always the best unit you can get if you're down under. Like if you're in a losing position where you have lost all your units, just buy Zeppelin. It's the best unit. It's a good unit even if you don't have, even if you have a massive army, because like the Zeppelin can pick up your units, it can save them. You can put them in new positions. It can save your hero from Stormbolt. Like it's just the best unit. Straight up. It's like utility items in this game. Sorry. Utility items are always the best items in the game. So yeah, Left side, not much to say. There's an orc shop here. These are easy to clear, these are easy to clear, all of these are easy to clear. This one is a bit nasty because of sleep, but if you just have enough creeps, they will attack your own. This one does deal a lot of damage, but you can just pull them out here, and suddenly it's not that bad. If you have Parasite, these are extremely easy to clear. Dragons, yeah, you just get Orb of Fire, maybe by Crypt Fiends down here. Design your creep around that. You wipe them, very easy. This one is a bit nasty because of Bloodlust. Does it have blood? Yeah, it does have. Okay. So these orcs will cast Bloodlust on these creeps, and they will chase you very far, even if you pull them. So, bit nasty, but it's possible. Mana burn, obviously. Don't want to do this camp unless you have 0 mana. This one, yeah, this Wraith has possession. It's a bit nasty spell. The Ghost will cast Confusion, which will make your units just run around randomly. It's not that bad though. Just before the Wraith is getting on low HP, you just pull all your units back and finish it with your hero. And after that, this camp becomes super easy. These units as well just bash. No, they have spell immunity actually. Yeah, they're not that hard. This one in particular is a bit nasty. The Maiden of Pain has Shadow Strike and Life Drain, and these have Telekinesis, which will basically keep your units stuck in place. And there's not much you can do about it, except take out the Maiden of Pain very quickly. So, good luck with that. This one is pretty nasty. Same with this one. Bloodlust, Centaur Cannon's War Stomp, yeah. And of course this one has Fairy Fire and Sleep and Refuge. Yeah, lots of nasty spells there. This camp isn't the easiest to clear. Lizard camps, always easy. They do AoE damage. That's the only thing you have to watch out for. And this creep will also try and devour your units, so be careful of that. Yeah, that's the left side, not much to say. Bandit camp, very easy. You just pull them. There's also this high cliff area. If the circle ever ends here, you want to try and build on top of the platforms. By doing that, you've made it really difficult for others. So that's basically what all this area is about. But they can kind of circumvent it by buying boats, so watch out for that. The top side, well, you usually want to get some ghouls here, and then you start creeping up this area. The Orb of Death will be available by minute 2. If you have that, the clearing becomes super easy. It's basically like having a Fairy Fire on constantly without the mana cost. So yeah, it's gonna make your life easier. There's really not much to say about this area. Obviously Zeppelin here, Worm here. These will cast Frost Nova, so don't keep your units in separate small tiny groups. You just move them away. That way you can mitigate a lot of the damage away. These units have custom spells. They have something called Glimpse of Madness. So if you do the Trickster here, they will make your units attack the closest units within acquisition range. So basically that means it will attack the most nearby unit depending on his auto-attack, auto-acquiring range, if you understand what that means. So you can kind of micro your units into attacking the creeps themselves. But yeah, if you have a worm, that's gonna be nasty. If you put a worm here and they put glimpse and suddenly your worm is attacking your own. So be careful. Don't bring high level creeps to this one. You actually just want like shitty low tier units for this one. Yeah, this side is actually just easy all around. This one can be a bit nasty because of carry and swarm. There is possession here. You actually don't want to do this one that often. The trolls are very troll-like. They will troll your units. So if you have any low HP units, they will actually focus them down. There's just something about troll AI. They are very troll-like. Another troll camp here. So yeah, watch out for that. Yeah, that's the whole side there. Right side, you can pick up ghouls. You can pick up archers. From this one you can pick up Watchers. The Watchers can use cast illusion on a hero, and then you tank with your hero. I mean, you can do creep mitigation damage with that illusion, so they are very nice. If you don't like Watchers, you can get Priests. They are not that far away. So yeah. Oh yeah, and here you can pick up Scaven Soldiers. What they do is they get defensive bonus the more you have of them. So if you stack up like six of them, they're gonna have lots of creep mitigation, but they don't really have that much damage themselves. So the problem with them can be that they're difficult to keep alive. Unless you have a hero like Shadowhunter, or if you have Spirit Link or something like that. Other than that, they're not always that cost efficient, but they're good as even like throwaway units. You buy 2 of them just for our absorbing of damage of the creep camps. And yeah, towards mid game you can buy Necros for Unholy Frenzy or raise skeletons. There's a graveyard right here which will produce corpses. That will help you basically clear any camp here. Flash Pyros, big meaty units, great for absorbing damage, and the zombies will also... the Flash Pyros spawn zombies once they take damage. So the zombies will also help mitigate a lot of the damage taken. Not much to say about these camps. The Broodmother will spawn spiders. As long as you hit execs before they spawn, you won't get swarmed by lots of spiders. Right here you have these slimes. They have insane amount of HP. But as you basically hit them, their max hit points will reduce to whatever their health is. So their health will always stay on 100%. But their max HP will be lowered, so kind of a nasty thing about this camp is that if you hit them to low HP, and if another player comes in, the slimes are much easier to creepjack than other creeps because they won't regenerate health. So watch out for that. Right here, they don't have mana burn, no? Okay, so these, they just hit hard, nothing to do with dispel. If you have skeletons, don't do this one, obviously, they are magic. Most of the creeps are easy. This one, again, they have Glimpse of Madness, some tentacles, Charm, I think, no Charm, okay, Silence. So this one is not that hard to deal with. Most of the camps are fairly easy. This one requires a bit of effort. You can pull them in here, and it will create a bad situation if somebody tries to come here, because you can keep running this other way, but you can't get sandwiched by the other side, so it's a bit of, yeah, it's a bit weird. But other than that, if you stay in the open, you will take more damage, but at the same time you can at least spot the players coming in. Yeah, the wolves, they do lots of damage because of critical and roar. So this camp, if you don't have proper damage mitigation, watch out. This Blight Revenant, he has something called Wither, and what this ability does is it causes It stops any regeneration or health restoration, so you can't heal your units if they have been withered. So watch out for that. Other than that, this camp fairly easy. Again, lizards have frost now. Yeah, I think that's it. Have I? Yeah, I did cover this area of the map, I believe. No, yeah, I have. Okay, sorry. Okay, that's it. Goodbye. Hope you enjoyed this video.